Welcome back to Real Estate with Mariah and Spence. Today we are talking about why everyone is moving to Oregon, because we've had the opportunity to help many relocation buyers move from all over the country to our beautiful state, Oregon. And we thought it would be fun to sit down and go down the list of a few of the different places we've had clients move from recently and what they were most excited about our area for. And at the very end, I have two local businesses. We always love supporting local businesses on the show. So I have two local businesses I'm going to give a quick little shout out to. So you're going to want to be sure to stay tuned until the end. You're definitely going to want to check them out, whether you're visiting our area for a vacation, checking it out to decide if you want to live here or if you already do live here. So this is something
This is a huge topic.
Yes, and this is
So
something I was just having this conversation with my hairdresser actually, but it's a conversation I have with everyone, because everyone always asks me when they find out that we work with a lot of relocation clients, like people moving to our state, relocating here from so many different places. Everyone wants to know, like, that's already living here, what are these people moving here for? Is it for work?
Why
Is it to be
Oregon?
close to family? Is it like, what are the reasons? And we've seen a lot of different reasons.
So many reasons.
Yes, I guess we can sit and talk about that if you want before we get into the things that our clients that we hear them say they're most excited about Oregon for.
Well, first, you mentioned something highly important to me.
What?
You mentioned you were speaking about this with your hairdresser. And your hairdresser is obviously a local community member.
Yes, and that's just.
I want to give a shout out real quick though. What's the business? What hairdresser do you go to if you are coming from online and out of state? I need you to know a good hairdresser. Shameless plugs.
Studio 554 downtown Salem, and the hairdresser's name's Ashley. She does a great job. She's super sweet. I don't know her last name, so
That's
I don't know
fine.
if that's helpful.
Just ask for
Studio
Ashley.
554, yeah.
Ask for Ashley. So, but what was like the topic? Because I want to get like a different perspective, because we're always talking about clients from out of state. They've never actually lived here quite yet. Maybe they visited the area in the past.
So
what is your studio hairdresser? Maybe her opinions as to, does she want people here? What's good for Oregon for her? Like, why does she stay here? Maybe elaborate a little bit. Did the conversation go there?
Not necessarily, no. But I have had that, like I said, this is a conversation. I mentioned that because that was just happened recently. But this is a conversation that it comes up a lot because people want to know, like I said, that live here. They're genuinely curious about why are people moving to our area. And I think a lot of the things that people moving to our area are most excited about are things that I know I've just kind of take for granted or don't even think about as a big deal, which we'll get into some of those because I've lived here my whole life. So I don't think about it as like, it's people that live in like, the Midwest or other parts of the country. Like they don't get this that we get here. So, there's a lot of things. But as far as to answer that first question, before we get into like the specific things that are unique to Oregon, that we hear clients being excited about living here for. A lot of the reasons that our clients move here are job switches. Yeah. Like they're relocating to a different job.
You would say there's like opportunity?
Yeah, job opportunities, family, people moving here to be closer to family. A lot of people who are working from home remotely since like 2020, everything that happened then, they're still able to work from home now. So they're like, well, I can live wherever I want. Let's check out Oregon. Because there's a lot of great things, which we'll get into about Oregon. And then, but a big thing is because they just want to live here. Like that's Seriously. A huge thing is people just wanting to live in Oregon. And I know a lot of people are leaving. We do work with sellers that are listing their home and leaving Oregon for their own reasons to go somewhere else that they're excited about moving to. And maybe we'll do a whole nother show another day why everyone's leaving Oregon. But this is because a lot of our people are moving here and they're so excited about it.
Well, I remember this topic being so hot in like 2019 leading into 2020. And it was like everybody was, tell me if I'm wrong, but going to Idaho from here. Everybody seemed to be jumping Oregon, going to Idaho, going to Arizona.
I think those reasons, though, were because a lot of people in Oregon were a lot of things. Oregon was more shut down.
Yeah.
And some people were happy, and then some people were like, I want to go to a state where it's more open. And now that's obviously not, an issue anymore because everywhere I think is open. But for the most part, it's not a concern right now.
So it came down to more of a political.
So I think it was more about that.
Okay.
Which. Yeah,
it happens. People are people. People are different.
But I've had people want to move here because of the politics too.
So I know there's a catch-22.
But I've also had plenty of people move here who weren't crazy about the politics in Oregon, but they just love Oregon, and so they're like, why would I not live where I want to live? Because there's certain, like that. Well, anyway,
here's the thing.
I don't want to get into that.
No, you don't have to. You just got to name it and move on. So, politics aside, though, the reasoning that I get a lot of my clients, and these are just comments I hear, and just on the street that I hear, because my job is real estate, right? And I'm always kind of wanting to pick the ear and understand people's motives and just why they do what they do, like why are you living in this area? It might be a little bit more remote than how I would like it. And there's always perspective and fresh perspective. And that's what's unique about this show is we are actually in the business. We actually do this as a 24-hour job. I mean, I get texts at 10 at night sometimes, and I'm usually replying. I have lenders working with me. We've had deals close, loan docs created, made, sent in for same-day funding on a Friday, and they get it done at like 11 p.m. for me. And that's why I've surrounded myself with such good people and a great team here with Vetches Crawford Realty. Mm-hmm. But the whole point is why moving to Oregon is benefiting.
Yes. Okay, we should just get into
that
these
was a
reasons
rant,
now.
And I'm going.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So this first thing is something that, like I said, there's a lot of things I've taken for granted living here my whole life. I've had many clients move to our area from states that are in the middle of the country, and they're very excited to move here because they're excited to move to Salem because they're only an hour from the coast and they can go to the beach whenever they want. And that's something that I've never thought about because I'm like, we don't even live near the beach. Like, what do you mean? But
we do.
For people who don't have a beach at all, like in their state, then that's a huge deal. And that's actually something I've had clients move here from other states and who were excited about that fact about our area, and they decided to move into West Salem instead of other parts of Salem because it's just a little bit closer to the coast. It's not even like that much closer, but it's a little bit closer. And they're like, we want to do all the day trips. Like, we're so excited to take our kids there often. And so, living near the coast. If you've never been to the Oregon coast, it's very beautiful. Okay. There's some very cute little beach towns. Like, there's a lot of them. The Oregon coast is super beautiful. It's not obviously a hot lay on the beach, swim in the ocean type of beach. Although Spencer, we just went there this last week and he did get in, but it was freezing.
It was cold. It was cold. The whole point is I fell in doing a little boogie board thing and I got off balance and it got me in. So
yes. I mean, I never really grew up going to the Oregon beach because it's a cold beach, but I think now that I'm older, I appreciate it more. It's just beautiful. There's so many beautiful scenery, things to do, so many different beaches all along like the Oregon coast from like one end to the other to check out. Yeah. So that is something that, like I said,
the landscapes. I think that's a big key point here for buyers wanting to live in Oregon and migrating this way. Rather than being in the central location of our nation, they want to be on a west coast. I mean, and we have a beautiful, beautiful coastal line. I think it's one of the longest, but also noted as the nation's most beautiful coastal line drive.
Yes,
I believe it's Highway 101.
I've not done the whole thing, but we just did like a very small portion of it, which is like all I've done of it a couple weeks ago, and it was so pretty.
Yeah, yes. Absolutely pretty. And we can't mention the coast without mentioning our Oregon dunes, because I am a dune rider. I like my dirt bikes and my quads. I got 2 of them. I'm going to brag a little bit because who gets to ride both? But you can't really beat Oregon dunes. We have 3 really good options surrounding Salem. You got Winchester Bay. You got Florence, which is about 35-40 minutes from Winchester Bay. So I'm going further south, and then I'll work my way inward north. So we got Winchester, Florence, and then Sand Lake. Sand Lake, it's only about 45 minutes from Salem, and that's why a lot of people choose to go there. You get a little bit more Portlanders just because of the location. It's closer, but it is smaller. But you have an amazing coastal line to ride on the beach with and have full access with your bikes. And it's just such a good day, and you can make a day trip out of it, or you can camp over the weekend. It's really up to you. Yeah. But that's an extreme sport, though, that, I mean, some people, they've never even heard of.
A lot of places don't have, like,
Mariah
good
just
areas.
got the idea, like, what, a week or two ago? You've never been to the Oregon
I'd
dunes.
never seen the dunes. They're, like, never ending. It's beautiful.
All the years I've been riding, she has never gone.
It looks like you're in the Sahara Desert or something. Like, it's so beautiful once you're out there. It's something else.
Definitely something else.
But yeah, there's a lot of great beach towns. I think my favorite is going to be Seaside. Because there's just more like little shops and like more going on in the town. Miss Oregon is there every year. It's closer to Portland. It's like 2 hours from here.
Which give the audience a little bit of insight why you mentioned Miss Oregon being there.
Well, I was a contestant, of course, back in the day.
No one would know that.
Teen, not in the older one, but as a teen. But anyway,
I watched one of those competitions.
You did.
Firstly, it's when like we were dating, and it was kind of new. I mean, we were 6-7 months in. I was a little uncomfortable going to the competition.
That was a Miss USA one.
That was a Miss USA one, and it was the only one I've ever been to. I'm not from that, pageant background, but it was a show, and that was pretty unbelievable, though.
They're a lot of fun.
Mariah knew how to walk that runway.
But that is, thank you. But that is does take place every year in Seaside, Oregon. Lincoln City. Would you say that's the closest beach town to Salem? Isn't that the closest? Yeah. It's like a 45-minute drive, maybe from like west side of Salem. Yeah. So there's a lot of really great beach towns. Okay, so clients recently who have moved here from Arizona were very excited to actually be able to do summer activities and go hiking with their family outside and like actually be able to enjoy the great outdoors, because we think like, oh, it'd be fun to live somewhere. I've always thought, because I really do like the sun. I love the sun. And I've always thought it'd be fun to live somewhere where it's really, really warm. Mm-hmm. But then we had these 100-degree days for like a week straight. And I think I just changed my mind there, because, it made me really appreciate our weather, because it is like usually 80s in the summer. So it's hot enough. You can still go swimming outside. You can still do outdoor activities. And like, if you're someone that enjoys like just basking in the sun and like feeling the sun on your skin like me, like you can still do that. But it's not like you step outside and you're immediately just going to start sweating. Like, that wasn't as fun.
And once again, I bring up Oregon having seasons.
Yes.
A lot of people don't even understand what a season is, because they only get one or two of them.
Yes.
It's either hot or it's very cold. Mm-hmm. We traditionally get 4 seasons. I mean, we're heading into fall right now. Right. That means all of our greenery that's happened, spring, summer's heated up. Now it's time for things to dry out during fall, because we've just had I think we're in an Indian summer. We have not had much rainfall at all.
Well, June was rainy, all of June, but that's pretty typical for Oregon.
We haven't had rainfall in over a month and a half, which is pretty phenomenal, and then the high temps. But things are changing with the seasons. Right. So we do get seasons. And October, November is one of my absolute funnest times here in Oregon. Oregon is
so beautiful.
And there's so many activities to do as well.
It's so beautiful because generally, even in like September, usually the weather's still good enough that you can enjoy outdoor things, but you have like the leaves are so pretty here and it's like crisp outside. By the time summer's over, I'm so excited for the rain, because it's so refreshing, but it's not like Seattle where it's just like so much downpour. Like, the rain isn't that, like, it does rain a lot, but it's just not that crazy. But that's another thing, is we have all the seasons, but we don't have the extreme seasons. And that's something like extreme weather. That's something clients from Texas, for example, that had mentioned they were excited about living here for was, you get to experience different types of weather, but we're not going to have like super extreme, like extreme hot. We don't have we'll get a little bit of frost a few days out of the year, but it's not like you don't have to get out your snow shovel. Maybe every like few years there'll be like a snowstorm that lasts a few days, but it's nothing compared to other places.
During
like
the day, we
all.
heat up and things just go away and get back to normal.
Yeah. So we don't have to deal with crazy. I mean, we don't have to deal with tornadoes. We really aren't.
Let's talk about natural disasters.
We're not a
though.
huge earthquake place. Like anything can happen anywhere, but we're not like having level 10. Like, it's not like living in parts of California where like that's the norm. We don't, like I said, we don't have tornadoes. We don't have tsunamis. Of course, anything can happen anywhere, but we're generally like a very like mild place. Another thing, comparing us to like someone moving from like Florida, for example, we don't have cockroaches. We're pretty mild as far as like
I just saw my first mouse a week ago in this house.
Yeah.
And I'm scared of mice and mouses. And
but imagine if that was like a cockroach. Like that could be
the problem
crazy.
with me is like I see one of them and I just start thinking of like, oh my gosh, there's like a whole family.
Yeah, like
whether it's insects or a mouse,
where's the babies? Yeah.
There's more.
Yeah. But we don't have scorpions. We don't have tarantulas. Like we are very, very mild if you compare us to other places. Like we don't have flying cockroaches like in Hawaii.
Oh my gosh.
We don't have iguanas and geckos trying to get into your house. Like we're very, very, very mild as far as natural disasters goes. And as far as like insects, critters, like we don't have alligators and crocodiles. No. We're pretty chill. It's pretty chill here.
You got
it's
gardener snakes, a gopher snake.
Yeah,
but those are actually good
boa
for your yards. They're if you got a mole in your yard, bring in a new snake or cat or something, go catch it.
Okay. Next. Okay. Recently, this is a comment I heard. I had some clients move from. I've recently had quite a few clients move from Idaho, like different parts of Idaho. But these clients were moving from a rural part of Idaho, and they were very excited to move to Salem because there was so much more to do here, and they were just sick of living in like a more rural town where it was a further drive to get to like anything fun to do, and there just wasn't a lot going on. Like in their small, it was like a small, like more mountain town with not a lot happening, and I know some people that's what they want and they like that, but these particular clients, that's why they were excited to move to Salem itself. They moved to West Salem, only about 5 minutes from downtown, and they were excited just for more happening, more popping, more popping town, a little more going on.
You have a lot of closings that happen with out-of-state clients specifically. That's been Mariah's main source of business. Now, once transactions close and your clients lived here for like a week or a month, through following up with them, what's like a key thing that you usually hear over and over that they're like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been up to or doing? Is there anything like that?
One thing I do hear a lot is that they really have found a lot of great restaurants in Salem itself. Like especially downtown, is that like
even the locals been saying this.
Yes, but I've heard that from clients like when they've only been here for a short amount of time. That is definitely one of the first things they say is they're excited about the food. I mean, I even just had a client that moved here last week, and that was one of the first things she told me. What kind of food was it? It was like dumplings. I think it was a restaurant downtown that was like specifically for dumplings. Like that was their specialty. And she was like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, like we did not have anything like this where I was from. Just like the diversity in the food here, which I don't even think of, like diversity. I've never thought of Salem as a diversity as far as food or anything goes, because like I said, I've lived here my whole life. And I compare it to Portland because that's where I would go if I want like good cultural food. Like, don't even get me started. There is endless,
don't get me started.
So many. Like that is one thing.
She wants to go to Portland. I say, let's just stay here.
Yeah.
And let's like go 10 minutes from our house.
Right.
And be happy and compromise here.
But if we're comparing it to, like I said, it really opens your eyes to all the things that we do have here when you're comparing it to so many different towns in different states all over the country that other people are moving from. I guess if you're comparing it to like a larger city, then of course you're going to be disappointed because it's not a larger city. Like it's not Portland. But that's one thing that our clients moving from Portland I hear are excited about is getting away from the traffic and the affordable busyness. Prices. Like there's things like that. Another thing, sorry if I'm talking fast, I'm like freezing cold right now.
Is that cold?
I'm so cold. I don't know if it's like making me talk about it.
No,
anyway.
you're good.
Okay.
You're good. You're ruling it.
Okay. Anyway, I've had some clients move here from Illinois, and they were excited, so excited to be on the beautiful West Coast. The Pacific Northwest is just so, like, if you've never been here, it's so beautiful in general, and it's so refreshing. I love the Pacific Northwest, and these clients were just excited to be on this part of the country because they really appreciated all the trees and the greenery and the beauty and the nature. Like they didn't have that. I mean, they did in different ways, but it definitely looked a lot different where they're from. And I've never been to Illinois, so I don't know what they were working with there, but that was their, words to me about why they were excited to be here.
I would assume their thought process was coming from Illinois as, wow, how fresh this is, like perspective wise, but also air quality.
Yes.
And it's clean. Yes. Oregon stays clean.
Yes.
And that's one like major thing that I have not really like, I've just taken advantage of it. Like with our roadways and sidewalks and stuff like that, we have a really, really good system that us taxpayers do pay into, but our cities keep our cities clean, and they perform, they do the job, they replace sidewalks where needed. And I have a street sweeper that comes like every month and just street sweeps around our streets and sidewalks, which I just moved into this place, well, I didn't just move in, but it feels like we just moved in house term wise. But that's new to us. We rarely saw that living like in a townhouse community or by an apartment area. Just the cleanliness and how things are well kept, I think, is really valuable for people wanting to move to Oregon.
Right. Another thing that I have to add, and these are just two things that are like personal to me that I enjoy about living here that are unique to other places. I noticed last time I was in Arizona and also last time I was in Nashville, these are two things that I noticed, and this could be totally different now because this was a couple years ago. But when I was there, I noticed the coffee shop situation was so lacking compared to here. They had like 2 or 3 milk options. Like we're spoiled here in Oregon. Like our coffee shops all have so many different milk options and alternative. Like we are very spoiled as far as, and that's just one positive thing about the coffee shops. Like there are coffee shops all over, and there's local ones, and they're really, really great. They have great quality beans. Like people take pride in their coffee making. Like it is a big deal here. Yeah, it's a big deal.
Their wine. People know their coffee grinds, coffee beans. I mean, you can go to like Winco, for instance, and you have like 20, 30 different options just in coffee beans. I don't know if that's normal. But certainly at our coffee shops, there are a lot of options and types of coffee you can be drinking. And you
don't really realize that. I know I don't until I go travel somewhere else. And then I'm like, what? Like, this is not like, okay, that's definitely like a first world problem. But I appreciate it about living here because I love my coffee and I love my coffee shops. And that is something that is great about Oregon. And then another thing is, there are in Salem specifically a lot of different like restaurants that are using like organic ingredients, grass-fed meat, like antibiotic-free chicken. And I know like not everyone cares about that, but if you do, Salem specifically has even just over the last few years grown in number of different restaurants that provide those type of things. And of course there's like different like natural food stores here too. But that is something that I also noticed traveling to other towns, that's really hard to find. Like if you're somewhere like, LA, it's easy to find, but in most places that's not the case. And I appreciate that about Salem.
It's definitely one of those things where you can't really have an opinion on it until you've tried it. You can talk bad because of the price. You don't like price, but until you've paid for it, you understand the product, you understand how it tastes, and then how you feel afterwards. Now you start to realize, oh, that's why, So and it might not ever be an importance to you for clean, healthy foods, but it is a great option that Salem and just our business owners are taking pride in.
Yeah.
And that has been refreshing over the last 5-6 years.
Yes,
for sure.
definitely. Okay, so those are all the reasons I had. Do you have anything else to add before we get into our local business shout out?
No. I think a big part of Oregon, I mean, is obviously the landscape. Location wise, we have seasons. So in the winter, you can go snowboarding an hour and 30 away. You got 3 different mountains to choose from. You have multiple pass options. You got boating season in the summer, lakes.
We do have a lot of lakes,
Multiple lakes,
near Salem
boats.
Specifically. There's lakes that are like an easy day trip.
And then, like I mentioned, the sand dunes, you can go either east or west, depending on what your day wants to be and what you feel like you and your family should do that weekend. And then, I mean, we can't mention Oregon without all of our state parks and our hiking trails. That is one huge attraction, especially when I have out-of-state clients just searching for the home initially. They haven't even bought the home, but we've set up showings, so they're here for 4 or 5 days. And in their off time, they're going to like Silver Falls. They're going on the hikes. They're going to look for waterfalls, that type of thing. And they do have families and kids. And that's really important, though, to make your environment feel comfortable for your lifestyle. And there's not much you can't find in Oregon that won't fit your lifestyle if you're searching for it.
Yeah, that's very true. There's so many different parts of Oregon that are just so beautiful. And before we get into the shout out to the local businesses, I just have to say, if you are someone who is watching this video and you're thinking about relocating to Oregon, reach out. We would love to work with you. We work with, like we said, a lot of relocation clients, people who are like you watching our YouTube videos, who are moving to our area from all over, and we totally love it. We have great systems in place to help you even do 100% of your home shopping virtually and help you, find a home and be super happy with it when you close and have no surprises, even doing it all virtually. So however, you plan to home shop, we'd love to help you, whether you already live here or moving here from somewhere else. Best way to reach us is through our website or our email, which will be in the description below.
We couldn't be doing this without you guys. So thanks for viewing, but also thanks for using us and trusting us in your business. Your referrals mean the most.
Yes. Okay. So these 2 local businesses. Okay. So the first one I stumbled upon. I went to dinner the other night at the Wild Pear with a friend, which is a great local restaurant. Delicious food. Yeah. So I walked from there. We were just walking around downtown, like doing some shopping, looking at the shops, and we walked by a new boutique that really caught my eye. It's a family-owned boutique. It's located right by Frozation, the frozen yogurt spot downtown. It's literally like you go into the doors like you're going to go into Frozation, and it's just straight down the stairs. So it's a little hidden, I guess, if you're not necessarily like looking for it. I think it's technically in the Reed Opera House. It's called Amalia Boutique, and yeah, I was really impressed. Yes. So it's AMALIA Boutique, I believe is how they spell it. But I was really impressed. They were so friendly. So like the owners were there, like so sweet. And they just had like so many cute things. And a lot of these boutiques downtown Salem are very pricey. And this one was a lot more affordable and they still had like really great things. So it was small, but yeah, super awesome. So I wanted to give them a shout out. Go check them out.
Or just women?
I'm so sorry. They only have women.
Rats.
Only women. No kids clothes, no men's.
Seriously.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen a couple actual dress clothing options that have been new to downtown, which is great for men. But I mean, that's something I'm lacking and missing.
That's true.
I need options here whether for the seasons, but also for just suit wear, for business attire, rather than just men's warehouse.
Right.
Because I mean, lately I've been doing it online.
Right. Well, if you know of anywhere locally, let us know in the comments. Okay. And then the second one, I just showed you this place. We walked by it. So it's located, you walk to Rudy's Steakhouse,
the alleyway
downtown. Yeah. We're going to go there after this.
Yes. Happy hour.
Yeah. We love their happy hour, their oysters and their crab salad. So Rudy's Steakhouse downtown. And then you keep walking through the alleyway and there's the Cozy Taberna. Is that what it's called? It's a new restaurant. I want to check it out. It looks really good. And then right next to it is this cute little shop. It's called Flowers in the Alley. They're a florist, but it's also, so it's like a flower shop, but they also have like cute home decor things. I bought a welcome mat with flowers on it, because I have like so many flowers around my house. I thought it'd be cute. It's so cute, worth checking out. So shout out to those 2 local businesses, whether you're visiting, scoping out the area, trying to decide if you want to live here or not. A lot of our clients do that, or trying to decide what side of town you want to live on. Or if you already live here, go check them out.
Go check it out. Just go take a walk.
Say hello.
Everything's walkable. And by the way, downtown Salem, free parking for the most part. Yeah. And you got a parking garage if you don't mind walking a little bit further. Yeah. But I mean, go take a walk, an adventure. Go on Facebook and see what events are happening around us, because usually every Friday, Saturday, there is something happening. And that was something that I've been guilty of not using and utilizing. And if we are really sponsors and supporters of our community, we need to be out in the community and using small business, local businesses, and giving them a shout out, just like we're doing today. So if you are a business owner, thank you so much for supporting the local community, but also for your hospitality. We understand the service industry, and by far, if you are a business owner, you guys provide the best service around that I have.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. Today's show might have been a little long, but we appreciate you tuning in. And we do come on here every single week and we talk about all kinds of things, mostly real estate related. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And we'll see you next week.